We are live. I'm always so scared that it
Hello.
says you're live and then you're not. And then suddenly the
Well,
whole thing starts like randomly and you're in the middle of a sentence or you're like picking your nose or something.
pretty much.
My friend.
Hello, my love. How are
Hello,
you?
my love. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I'm
Good.
good.
Good, good. So, welcome to everyone who is watching. I know some people are going to join, but I also know some people will be watching after the fact. So, please, if you have any comments, if you have anything to share, drop a comment, and we'll get to it. And if you're following it later, drop a comment. And I'm always on my socials, like we all are always on our socials. So I'll check it out later. My name is Ashley. I run the story team. I am a conversion copywriter, general feminist, and businesswoman who works with other amazing businesswomen all over the world, including Lauryn, who we're going to get to know during this live. And this live is called the Designated Worrier with an O, not an A, although it should also be with an A. Female burnout and why it is a thing.
Yep.
And I was really worried about this one tonight. I'm still a bit nervous because this is one of the ones I don't want my husband to watch. Because, like, I don't want to get all man bashy. This isn't about being anti men. Like, I'm really
Mm-mm.
concerned that I make that clear. Like, I have a lot of male friends, and obviously, I'm married. So, this isn't about shaming anyone or guilt tripping anyone, but this is a real thing that women are experiencing. And I think it's really important to talk about it and to share the load, and I think to also talk to women about what it looks like for them in their lives, which is why I wanted to chat to you, because we're both women but we have very different kinds of responsibilities and very different
Mm-mm.
lives, and yeah, we'll get into all of that. So this, I just want to give it sort of a bit of context to this conversation, and then I'm just going to ask Lauren a ton of questions and also tell you a bit about how we know each other and what we do together. So there is a thing in the world called worry work, or the worry factor, or emotional labor, or mental labor, or whatever it is you want to call it. But it is a real thing, and it is making us very tired. And we were talking about this the other day, La, and you were just saying
Mm.
that your beautiful son Axon has been sent home from school because of COVID, and so now we're back into homeschooling. And you were just talking about how much it takes out of you, and how your partner doesn't seem to suffer in the same kind of way. And then I said to you, this is a real thing, and it's called emotional labor or mental labor. And then I sent you some articles. I think one was from the New York Times and the other one was
Yeah.
from Harpers Bazaar.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is a real thing. It affects moms a lot, but it just affects women generally. And if you go and Google this, you will just come up with a ton of stuff that women have written, blogs and articles and thought leadership pieces around why this is a thing and why it's important that we deal with it. So Lauren and I have known each other since we were 6 years old. That's a really long time. We were in grade 1 together, La,
Yeah.
at
No, we
Bryanston
were
Primary.
at Bryanston Primary, and I'm living very close now to Bryanston
Lauren's
Primary
back
again.
living very near Bryanston. So we've been friends since we were 6 years old. We've never lost contact. So Lauren, we went to Bryanston High together, but then Lauren went to the UK to study ballet. She's a beautiful ballet dancer. And I stayed in Bryanston, and then she came back, and then she moved to France, and I moved to London, and now she's back in South Africa. But through all of that, we have maintained this amazing friendship. And about a year ago now, we started working together. So Lauren is a digital business manager. She is a total boss at running summits and launches and just businesses in general. And she's brought me on board for a couple of things as a copywriter. So we work together now. And I think we're in a place where we can talk really honestly about a lot of things, which is really exciting. And we know a lot about
Yeah.
each other's lives, which is also great, I think, for this conversation, because we can go quite deep
Yeah.
We won't go too deep because
Yeah.
domestic violence. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, 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 no.
No, I mean on my end too. No, I'm joking. That was a joke. But I wanted to ask you some questions.
Go for it. Shoot.
So the first thing that I think is really important is that, and we're going to come to this at the end, is that this is actually a lot bigger than we think, and it affects a lot more people than we think it does. But I'm going to talk about that towards the end. But I wanted to talk a little bit about your move to South Africa and the fact that you have a child. So how old is Axon now?
He's 4. He's 4.5, turning 5.
And all he wants is,
So, mummy.
yeah, that's all he
I
wants,
mean,
right?
yeah, I think he's definitely getting to that stage where he's, he'll go to people easier and all the rest of it. But like, if he's sick, if he's hungry, if he needs to go to the bathroom, like that's like the basic necessities of life is still centered around it, which is fine. That is, I think, if you look at nature, even wild animals, like that is their center, is their mom. So, but it's full on. So, sometimes, we were having a meeting earlier, and you couldn't hear in the background, but it was just like, mom, mom, mom. And you're just like, okay, so because the thing is, you have that sort of guilt complex of wanting to do what you need to do for work, but there's something pulling you to the other side where you just like, it's like a natural sort of like pull, and you just like there's a part of your brain that kind of goes away, and then you're like, you have to pull yourself back into the room and go, it's actually okay. You've heard of those moms, like their baby cries in another room, and they, like, if they're breastfeeding, like their milk comes out and everything. So it's a very it's pretty intense. But yeah, it was it was quite a move, and we're still
Huge
moving.
You basically immigrated, right?
Yeah, we immigrated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was back to South Africa, back to a family base, so that definitely helped. But it's just that sort of moving is never fun, and
It's
moving
hard.
with a toddler. Yeah, and moving with a toddler is just, you can't get
It's a
things
lot.
done.
Yeah. So, I mean, I run my own business, and I don't have a child. I have a dog and a cat, but I don't have a child. And so I can't really even know the sort of stuff that goes on in your life. Like, I think the pressures that a mother must face is like a lot. And I think that's also one of the reasons why you and I love working with women so much, is because we know the kinds of pressure that women are under, and we love supporting them, and we see sort of what empowered women are capable of, which is really incredible. And so I think that's also why we are sort of gravitate towards working with women as much as we do. But in being all of these things, you're a partner, you're a mom, you're a businesswoman, like, what are the things that you are just thinking about all the time that your partner potentially isn't thinking about all the time?
I think it goes down to the basic necessities. It goes down to, food in the fridge, detergent, like all those little things, like making sure that the, washing is done, like just those little things that are, like, for instance, it was, we got in, okay, my baby, there we go. So, like, like the school randomly asking for a pine cone for a school project.
Oh my God.
So, you just like, okay, I need to go and get a pine cone because my child can't be the only child without a pine cone.
Yeah.
or a shoebox, or these, and in the essence, they're not big at all. You know, like I got a pine cone and I got a shoebox, but it's those things that keep on adding up where you just like, you're trying to juggle all of it. So, I mean, it's list upon list and reminders on phone and like this and like emails and, you know, just like also now extramurals are coming into play. So working out when, you know, when to do meetings and when to do work and how you're going to work that out with his nap time. And like, it's this constant juggling of like, how am I going to do it? And right now with homeschooling, it's like, okay, I'm getting up at like 5, Harpers 5, trying to get a little bit of work in before he wakes up, and then trying to get a little bit of gym time in for myself, because that's something that I've made kind of mine. And then now it's like, you know, it's like 10 o'clock for half an hour, and then it's at 11 o'clock for half an hour, and then at 12:30 for another 15 minutes. So you're constantly trying to look at, you know, so it's just that juggling of things. I think it just gets, I think it's decision fatigue, and it's decision fatigue. I'm just like constantly like, okay, I mean, and maybe my partner would be like, he's also making decisions on another end, but right now it's just that sort of like that base level that never ever stops, that it's continual.
And I think that's a really interesting point that you make, and so in a lot of my reading, but also just in my life, like if I ask my partner to do something, he'll do it. Like he is like, you know, if I say to him, we are running out of fruit, we need whatever, or he'll be, and I say, please go to the shops, he'll go and do that. But I'm the one who has to sort of initiate that stuff. I'm the one who has to sort of go, okay, does the cat have the thing? And has the dog had this? And when are the dogs vaccinated? I mean, I'm talking about my dog because I don't have a child, but like, when are the vaccines due? And when, you know, like, do we, as you say, like the washing and the detergent, and is there enough toilet paper? So like, there's just like this constant thought, like all the time. Exactly. And then on top of that, we're running our own businesses, right? And we're dealing with like our clients and all of the stuff
which we love,
yeah.
But it's just that I get to that, like when someone says, do you want to do something? I was like, I actually, please just make the decision. You know, just you know, don't make me make the decision. Like my mom said to me, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, I can't do this.
Don't ask me questions. Don't ask me stupid questions. I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it. I
can't do this right now.
Totally.
So I think, you know, it's, but I mean, like I have gone to, because I think mental health is really, really important. So I've gone to therapists, and they've said this to me, like constantly, that I've been to 2 of them, and they've sent me information like you about this, that it's just basically like a woman will see like something on the table, then we'll go to the table, and then they'll see something else, and then we'll start working on this, and then they'll start working on this, and start working on this, and then start working on, and then before they know it, like their free time is gone, because it's just how we work as women. So we see the detail. I don't know if there was a play called Defending the Caveman. I don't know if you ever saw it, Ash.
You know what? I actually didn't see it. It was a really famous play in South Africa that just blew people's minds. Yeah.
And it was actually a cousin of mine, funny enough, Tim Pluman. And basically it goes down to like the caveman era, where like the caveman was like one direction. It was like, I'm going to hunt, and it was one direction. And the women were the gatherers. So it was like gathering information and doing this and doing that and doing that. And basically like everyone in the audience laughed because it was so true. And I think that's what the thing is that women do have the capacity to multitask and to gather and to do and to and men are really good at getting certain tasks done and getting them done really well. So like we said, we don't want this to be like a man bashing or something like that. It's just it's just like the constant stream of this gathering that is exhausting women at this point.
Yeah. I mean, that is an interesting point, and I'm not sure that I completely agree with you. Because I mean, but that is the thing. So like, are women just better at this stuff? And I think there is a belief, and certainly I'm sure studies have been done that say that we are, but like, is it also that women are just expected to do it, and so we've just got better at it? Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like, we just get better and better at it because that's inherently expected. And so, yeah. And
I see your point. I actually don't have the answer to that.
Yeah, me neither.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if roles were reversed, like what would be the kind of the result.
Yeah.
And I don't think there should be like those roles of like, you have to do this and you have to do that.
Yeah.
I think as a mother, though, there's certain things that we just instinctively are better. I don't know. I think just we have that capacity to take on. Whereas fathers have a different capacity. But the thing is, what we're talking about is that day to day, like this and that and this and that, going on and on and on and on. And it takes that sort of mental brain space for your business, for your work, for everything else. So often there's times where I sit down and I'm like, I'm exhausted and I haven't even started working because of the mental energy that's gone in before that.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Like, what does this look like in like just every day? Like what does it look like cognitively? So how fast is your brain racing and what is happening? But also, what does it look like emotionally, you know?
So I'll talk about the last couple of days because it was quite a intense sort of thing. My partner Chris got COVID and we had to move out because we were still moving in, but we were doing it slowly. And then we had his parents were elderly and it was the right thing to do, so we had to move out quite quickly. So obviously, you just like adrenaline just kicks in. I was waking up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and just going, like just absolutely going because I knew what had to get done. I was very lucky because we did have at that point the grandparents looking after Axel, because I don't know how you do it actually if you don't have that help, which has happened in France where I didn't have that help when we had the first lockdowns and we had Axel at home for 2 months working. And that's when you just get into a routine of like, okay, you get up really early, and that's where my good mental space is. It's like I get up at like 5 Harpers 5 now, before he wakes up, so I can get like 2 hours of like half an hour of just like sitting on the couch with no one, which is just bliss. And then starting the work, and then he gets up, and then it's school, and then it's that, and then at this point, like I'm only starting really to work at around about 12:01, and by that time it's I'm tired. But then the coffee gets in. Like I think it's adrenaline that kind of gets you through. I don't know how much longer with this COVID thing that we can keep on doing this cycle of adrenaline, because he should be at school. It should be fine. I mean, it was just like, it's just bad timing. And it always seems to be that sort of like his school closed. I mean, he wouldn't have been able to go to school anyway because we're isolating and everything like that. But, it just always happens at the worst time. Like when we were moving to South Africa, I sprained my ankle. It's just these random things that just happen. So I think every mom is exhausted. You can see, I think it's the constant noise that just kind of like that just keeps on going and going and going, that sometimes you just like, I need 15 minutes just of silence.
So there's a study. I actually found a study by this professor in Melbourne who says that there's 4 stages of this worry work that happens, and they are anticipating needs, identifying the options, deciding among the options, and then monitoring the results. And so her research, I know, I also laugh because I'm also thinking about all the things in my world that I'm just like, yep, I do all of that. And so she says that mothers, particularly in situations where you have a heterosexual couple and a child, mothers do more in all 4 stages. She says that parents often make decisions together, so the deciding the options happens together, but everything else the mom does. So the anticipating, like the waiting for the crisis, like seeing the crisis like coming, like a train, like, you know, full on, and then you know, doing all the anticipation and the planning and the research, and then monitoring once the decision's been made, and then like the dad comes in, he's like, yeah, I think we should do this, and then they're I don't know what they do.
No,
they watch TV. I don't know what they do.
No, but like, because you know, at one point, like when I pack for a holiday, I literally am like, okay, you know,
it's like a project, right?
It's a project, because it's like, okay, what happens if this happens? What happens if this happens? We get this, we need this, we need this, and we need this, and then I've got this whole like. It's literally a day of planning, and then my partner comes in and he packs a little suitcase, like he's like, I'm done, and you're like,
yep,
like that's nice, because you know, it's like the food, the snacks, the medicine, the this, in case of this, okay, you know, it's
fine. Like I don't mind that I because I want to feel secure in a holiday, like that I've got all my things, but inevitably then I will also pack things that I know he will need, that he forgets that he needs. And so
I've gone over that.
But like we'll be on holiday and he'll be like, did we pack any toothpicks? And I'm like,
no,
I'll be like, I don't know. Did you pack any toothpicks? But I mean, I packed them, because I know, like a day into the holiday, he's gonna be like, I need a toothpick, and then you know, like So it's interesting.
No, not as much anymore. I think because I'm just like, you're on your own, buddy.
I think having a kid is a game changer. It's like, okay, I already have 2 of us to worry about. I can't be
just like, you know, and the thing is, like, you know, it's fine. Like, I mean, I must say my partner is very low maintenance when it comes to things like that. So I know he can pack in like half an hour.
Yeah.
But like sometimes he's like, yeah, it'll be easy. And I'm like, you know, then it's like, you know, and especially when you go to self-catering places or something like that, I'm just thinking about, okay, washing machine, like it's not even things that it
doesn't register.
Even like register.
I know.
So
I know.
And that is where, like, my project planning, I actually now use Asana
to plan your packing for holidays.
Because I
think that's a brilliant idea. I might actually do that myself.
Because then I can just duplicate the task time and time again, so I don't have to keep on thinking of it. And actually, my partner did say that he used to, with work, have to move around a lot, and you know, it's true, because you that constant mental energy of having to keep on remembering what it is
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And I think it's, you know, and like, you know, the thing is, I always preach to my clients, if it's in your head, it's taking up too much space. It has to be out in a thing. And then it sits in my head, all the stuff. And, you know, at 4:00 in the morning, I'm like, oh,
I know
what I need to do. That's when I do my best thinking.
Yeah, me too. Like wide awake, going, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. Do you feel like a nag?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Completely.
Yeah. It's great for marriage, hey? It makes you feel really sexy as well. Yeah, it's really good for that area of your life. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like you said, you're just like, well, why do you have to? Why can't they just see it?
Why don't they just know? Why
And
don't
the
they
thing
just
is,
know? I know.
but I mean, it's like you talk to anyone, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same across the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's we are not in this alone. It is not just us. It's this constant, and I don't understand it. And I
Mm,
think there should be a study on it
mm, mm,
because
mm. Maybe I'll do
why?
that. But I'm too biased. I'll just get full of rage and then I'll kill every man on the planet. I'll launch warfare.
No, you won't. You would negotiate because like
I would negotiate. I don't
you
know. I don't
wouldn't
know if I
negotiate.
would.
I think you would. I don't think you
Would
would.
I? I
It
don't know.
depends.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. It would depend on my current mood. Um, what if you had a full-time job? What would that mean? Like, what if you were going into the office every day? What would that mean?
Okay, well, the two things, it could be slightly easier because I do think that because one works at home, people think that like you're still available,
Mm,
which you are. So, like the reason why I work online and I do the business that I do, one of the main reasons that I like went from professional ballet dancer to digital business manager was that because I'm also a trained ballet teacher. It was that someone said to me, she was an ex ballet teacher. She said to me, "Lauren, don't get a studio, don't become a ballet teacher." And I was like, "What do you mean?"
mm,
And she was like, "Because the ballet lessons start after school, and if with a child, it means you'll never see your child."
mm,
And
mm.
it really, really resonated with me because I was like, I still wanted to have work and something that I could feel like I was still being of value and growing, but I also wanted to be there for him.
Mm.
So it was those two sort of as always when you become a working mom, and it's not it's the same. Like, you know, the horrible thing is if you stay at home mom, there's like a pull because you feel like you should be working, and then when you're a working mom, you feel like you should be a stay at home, like you know, like there's always a pull, and there's no good or bad answer. It's
Yeah,
just like where you want to be. So that's
yeah.
one thing I want to, you know. But this was just me personally, what I wanted to do. Um, so it's, but I do think like you know, being at an office, then you're kind of there, and everyone knows you there. And
Yeah.
there's no like, okay, quickly do this, quickly do that, and all the rest of it. Working at home, you know, that is where you have to time manage really, really carefully.
Mm,
However, if I was working in an office, if he got sick, if he did this, or like the other day, he had an allergy to a mosquito bite, like a really severe allergy to mosquito bite. You know, I can take him to the doctor. I can do those things. So I
yeah,
still don't think I would want to be in that position,
yeah.
because it's just you I think, you know, the guilt the guilt for me would be too much.
Would be too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
personally.
And it's really
But that's personally, that's me. Like whatever works for
no, no,
everyone
no.
else
And I
is,
think that's a lot of moms. Like, I definitely think, and because there is this expectation from society that the mom must leave the office and go fetch the kid and take him or her to the doctor, not the dad. It puts a lot of pressure on women in the workplace, right? And we know we see this all the time that the pressure on women and especially mothers in the workplace is really rough. Um, you know, they can't, and they also, and what's also happening, which is really frustrating, is that especially moms, they can't get ahead in their careers as quickly as men can because they can't put in the extra hours. You know, they can't do all of those extra things at work that the men are doing because they've got a kid at home, right? So they don't
mm,
get the pay raises, they don't get the promotions. um and so a lot of women are leaving the workforce, like, and we've seen now over the pandemic, like, women are
huge.
leaving in droves, hey, like they are exiting. And um and it's really bad. Like I did some research into it, and just like, I think women are exiting the workforce at twice the rate of men. And their participation in the paid workforce is lower than it's been in 30 years. It's like
Yeah.
crazy. And I think
But I get it.
yeah. I totally get it. I totally get it as well. But what it does lead to, and this is what I was talking about in the beginning that I said we would come back to, is it does lead to this increase in the gender pay gap, right? So women are just earning less than men. They have less opportunity to create wealth. They're being invested in less than men. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I see that as a feminist issue because I'm a woman and because it directly affects me. And I was actually watching the Forbes Women's Power Summit today, which is still on at the moment. And there was this amazing speaker talking about this exact thing. And she was saying that this stuff is not a gender issue or a feminist issue. It's an economy issue. Like, this stuff affects everybody. It is affecting the world economy. And I was like, geez, man, that is totally right. It's affecting men as badly as it is women.
Yeah.
I think in the UK, women are worth 250 billion pounds to the UK economy. And if they're all leaving the workforce,
then what are they doing?
Men are going to suffer too, right? Because the economy is suffering.
Exactly. And I think that's the main thing. And I think, like, like, for me, like, one of the most basic things that, like, you could do to help that, well, for me, is give extended paternity leave.
Yeah.
So give men the same rights. I mean, if we're talking about equality and everything, because this is what it is about. It is about equality. Give men the same leave as women. And that, because I think that would mean that people, it's not like women aren't frowned on when they get pregnant, because it means their partners are also going off. You know what I mean? So it's not like punishment for that sort of, like, whatever you getting, depending on your country. I think the US is like, I don't even know what the US is, but I'm sure it's ridiculously short. And then you get sort of like the Scandinavian countries, who are like a year. And then you get like sort of South Africa and France, which is like, 3 to 4 months, which is like the average. But 3 to 4 months is really, really short, because they're still breastfeeding, they're still doing. I mean, it's nothing. It's nothing. And I was very lucky, because my partner was able to, during that time, I wasn't working. I wasn't working at that point. I was studying at that point, my ballet teachers, but I didn't have to go into the office, and I think it would have killed me. It would have absolutely killed me.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, when he walks into school and he's like this, or because he's had a bad day, or, like, it just, you want to. So I think it's just getting that sort of, how do we work the economy so that it's the men are getting the same amount of time with their children, and women are getting the same amount of time to work. And I think that is a really, really huge issue, which I don't think we'll be. I mean, I do. I don't think. I think economists have been probably studying this and haven't come up with the answer.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. So if we go back, so this is my last question. If we go back to this idea of the worry work and the constant sort of mental load that women take on, how do we shift that? How do we change it? Like, what is the answer? Is there an answer? I know I have a couple of ideas, but I want to know what your ideas might be, if you feel the need to express.
The thing is, like, right now I feel too, like, ingrained in it all. Like, I'm so, like, I often say to you, as a digital business manager, like, I need to be above it to see how it all works, right now I'm so in the trenches and that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. So
Yeah.
if you could provide some
Well, I mean, it's really hard, and so I'm the kind of person that I will let all of this fester until we have a huge fight, and then it explodes out of me, and then
and
no good can come from that, right? Like nothing
yeah.
productive can come out of that. So I definitely think it is about having like conversations in moments of calm and moments of connection and moments of love where you say, look, this is how I'm feeling, and do you can you see that this is all the stuff that I'm sort of worrying about and anticipating and monitoring and all of that stuff, and trying to sort of talk through it. So I think communication is one thing. But then the other thing, which I don't think is possible for moms, but it is possible, I think, sometimes for women who don't have children, is just to stop doing all the stuff and let the house go to ruin. You know what I mean? Like, just let the toilet paper run out, let the washing detergent run out, let the dog hair collect all over the house in like piles that thick, and then I don't know. Yeah. Let the cat litter box just stink. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
you have to be like I can't.
I know.
I literally, I'm like, I just hear you and I'm just like,
you want to
I'm
vomit.
just like cringe. I just want to like, but I know like I think like, my partner is great, but like he can like kind of live with mess for like 12 hours. I know. And I'm like, just when I walk into the house,
they have a high tolerance level for filth.
And I'm just like, how are you not seeing this?
I know that is a real thing. I know.
And I'm trying to like teach him, like my son, that if he play, and it's not going very well, that if he plays with something, he has to put it back.
Yeah.
And but I'm just like, and he's like, it's so hard though. So first of all, I'm trying not to laugh because he's like,
so hard. Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet.
It's so sweet at 4.5, but it's not sweet at 40.
At 34. No, it's not.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying to like at least train him for his future wife. So
yes, you are a good mother. You are doing it for the sisterhood, man. Totally.
Yeah, like he is going to be in the kitchen with me cooking at some point.
Yeah,
he's going to be making the salad. He's going to be laying the table. He's going to be doing all the things that are just expected of the daughters. And if I had a daughter, I would be making her braai.
Yeah, no, totally. But it's also just basic sort of like life skills, right? Like being able to cook and clean.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on here?
No,
it's
exactly.
Basic life skills to survive.
Yeah, I mean, I've got him trained with putting his dirty clothes into a laundry.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. But the toys, he's like, he has a great imagination. He has a beautiful imagination. So all the toys get scattered everywhere on the house. I find toys, animals stuffed into every single place. I'll be going into something and I just have like this animal, and I'm just like, it's so cute. And then like, there's a part of you that you don't want to like crush that. There's a part of you that's just like piece. It's in the spare bathroom because I thought you guys were sleeping.
Ta-da! So I just also want to anyone who watches this and who's watching, I just want to say also that Lauren said that she was going to be in her pajamas with greasy hair and totally like not looking fresh. because of exactly this thing. She has been running a home all day and looking after a child and working. But you look amazing. So well done. I'm very impressed.
I think it's my ring light.
Yeah, you do have a great filter, which is
Yeah, no, I've
super
got a great
helpful.
Zoom
Zoom filter.
filter and a great ring light, because like I was just like, I did put on a jersey because I was wearing a Mickey Mouse top. And I was like,
That's okay.
maybe that was a thing. But I will be saying this. I do have my pajama bottoms and my slippers on.
Yeah, I also do. I have my pajama bottoms on. Yeah.
You know,
But from like here up, I'm not even wearing a bra, but you can't see that.
Neither am I.
Okay. You are amazing. Thank you for doing this with me. I really, really appreciate it.
It's my favorite part of the day.
I know, me too. It's like just a jam. It's just a total little chat sesh where we can just alleviate some frustration. And hopefully help some other women who are...
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to get into trouble for someone.
That's okay though. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It was awesome speaking to you, my friend. I love you.
No,
You're amazing.
thank you so much. I love you. And I also just wanted to say that if anyone watches and enjoys this, please connect with us on LinkedIn. We love connecting with other women. We love helping other women find their power and their voices and really run their businesses like as much of an empowered way as possible. We're putting together a summit at the moment. So Lauren and we've actually been on the phone together like most of the day organizing the summit for this woman. Yeah, so please connect with us. We would absolutely love that. That would be amazing.
Yeah, no. Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for doing it. Hopefully we can do it again.
I would love to.
Kathy says Kathy was watching earlier. She says she's been married for over 20 years. If you crack that code for why they don't see it, let me know. I do think I'm lucky, and I think it's because in over 2 decades I've brought it up. Nagging isn't sexy. You know what else isn't? Being overworked. It's not great for romance, dudes. Yeah, it isn't. No, we know. Thank you, my friend. I love you, and yeah, let's do it again soon.
Yeah, there you go, girl. You're doing such great things. I can't wait to see where you go. Thanks. No, I know you're gonna fly. You always do. Anyway,
I love you. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.